Darts here, watching the Watchers, and I'm just watching this episode of This Morning on ITV with Philip Schofield and Holly Whitterby, interviewing a man who says he's invented a sex doll robot, but actually it's not really much different from the others, from sex dolls that have been invented before. Apart from this one has a AI, so it can talk to you and interact with you. About 5 years ago, I saw a program on Channel 4 where this man was basically in love with this robot, and he would tie the thing up and do all kinds of stuff with it. Bit messed up, bit crazy, but let's have a listen.
So you can interact, you can tell her you love her, she'll respond.
And she'll say this.
I love you too.
And then she might go on to say,
Do you think we could get more sensual?
and then,
I can take many times, much more love, just because you can give it.
oh, didn't like
And
to, oh,
I take it all.
then I didn't like to interrupt
you
her
mustn't
then,
interrupt.
but in full flow. I mean, it's a bit like making love to a car GPS, isn't it?
No, I don't think so. Humans love human form. So, obviously, I think she's very beautiful.
Should just really quickly point out, woman in a red dress, the dolls in a red dress. I'll go into I'll go into that more in the future, but that's a symbol. And interestingly, Holly Whitterby here, she did a story, she spoke about a story a couple of years ago about World War III whilst wearing a red dress. So that was interesting to me at the time. But I'll go into that in more detail in the future, whenever they announce things to do with war and stuff like that, or propaganda type style things to do with war. They'll have the woman, the news reporter or whoever, wearing a red dress. A bit like the Nazis used to do when they had that, I can't remember her name, but they had like a woman in a red dress who used to make announcements and try and get people rallied up to fight the war for Germany and the Nazis. Anyway, back to this, what this guy's saying.
I mean, it's a bit like making love to a car GPS, isn't it?
No, I don't think so. Humans love human form. So, obviously, I think she's very beautiful. Would you agree she's beautiful?
No.
No, she's a doll. I mean, the thing is, you can't get away from the fact that she's not real. I mean, I know the one thing that's different about her also is her skin texture.
Yes, yes.
And this is something that, I mean, we've all seen those blow-up dolls, which are very plasticky and very unrealistic. And she has special skin that's meant to feel like human skin to the touch.
I don't know how much you know about sex dolls, but
Not
if you
much.
look, not much, maybe not much. Okay, I'll explain. The vast majority of sex dolls either come from the US or China. In general, they're all one colour, so the texture, if you look at the texture on Samantha, you can see it's actually like real skin. It's not, it's ingrained with the different textures. It's not...
The way he's touching it and having it, the thing's touching his leg and he's holding it and grasping the thing like it's real. That's what's strange about it.
This is me. I found it really quite unnerving that it was quite a good feeling of skin, but was cold.
Yeah.
She's like a corpse.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Well, the reason that we don't heat her up, it can be done. It could be heated up, but she runs on a 12-volt battery pack, which obviously for heat, that's not enough. It needs to be a lot higher than that. So we're working on ways where she can be linked to a higher power source, and then she could be warm.
Now, but you're saying that females have sex aids, that they use vibrators. It's now very accepted as part of our society. And
Well, they fit in the drawer.
They fit in the drawer. This is my point. Where are you going to hide that? I mean, people that have children around, I mean, It would be quite frightening if a child found that in your wardrobe.
Well, I had 2 children myself, and they...
This is the most disturbing part where he says he's going to let it interact with the kids.
She's going to read the kids a bedtime story.
She can talk about animals, she can talk about philosophy, she can talk about science.
Wow.
She's got a programme with 1,000 jokes, which is at random, so I don't know all of them. So there's a lot to Samantha. She's advanced.
And so you can switch her over to the family mode and have her sitting on the sofa amongst the family?
Yes, yes. My children, they say, "Where's Samantha?" So she can be at home. You just ask her, for example, "Tell me something about
How old are your
animals,"
children?
and she will.
At some point, they're going to know. I mean, how old are they? They're young. Little.
Teaching 5 and 6-year-olds about that a robot or this doll is kind of real. It's very strange.
Realise that Samantha, Daddy has sex with Samantha, and Samantha's not mummy. Is that not a bit strange?
I think the world's changing. I believe
Yeah,
the
it
world's
is.
changing.
But it doesn't mean it's changing for the better, does it? And I mean, I think with AI particularly, one of the things that we're realising in psychology is that sometimes just because we can do something doesn't mean that we should do it. And I think sex dolls are a perfect example, because when you look at Japan, for example, and that is the place...
Wow, she just said something I was about to say.
Sex dolls. They've also created dolls that you can set to a particular setting which simulates an unwanted response. And actually what we're saying is we're objectifying women, but worse than that, we're commercialising and becoming consumers of women's bodies in this way. This is not real. She is not called Samantha. She's a piece of whatever you've made. She's got voices that are simulated that aren't human. Certainly having your children around
Are they
them
doing any
is
harm?
worrying.
Because within your relationship with your wife,
Who's on the other side of the
who's
studio?
here, you incorporate her into your lovemaking. She's part of it.
Oh,
Yes, I
her
think
wife's
it's-
Chinese.
People
That's
might
Sorry.
paraphilia, isn't it? We're talking paraphilia.
His wife's Chinese. That explains a lot. It's probably her idea in the first place.
What's normal exactly?
No, I disagree with that, because I don't know. You know, if you're not harming anybody, if you're not doing anybody any harm, where does normal start and end? Your wife is over there. We've had so many people on, Hannah, and when the guy has sat here, and my wife is absolutely, whether it's swinging or sort of whatever it is, and you look at the wife's face and you can see her thinking, oh dear God, no. Are you happy with this?
Yes, I am.
Totally happy with
Yes.
having Samantha on your sofa with your kids around?
Yes, completely.
And why are you comfortable with it as a woman?
We as a woman, I'm not be offended to have her around.
Yeah.
Or I'm not being, worried that she might be...
Interestingly, that the robot is actually a Caucasian-looking kind of person and not Chinese. He's grasping it and put his hand on the thing.
No, not at all. I'm not worried at all because
Wow.
I'm not replaceable by, Samantha. She's actually helped us to enhance our relationship.
All right, so what do you think about that? Leave in the comments. I've got my own videos coming on this whole entire robotic kind of replacement for humans, be them sex dolls or actual units to do every kind of job, from secretaries to picking robots and all kinds of stuff like that coming. It's this sort of story where this guy is trying to sympathize. He's trying to get people to kind of accept robots equal to humans, okay? And there will come a time where Boston Dynamics, they perfect that humanoid robot they're creating, and there'll be laws and such, so we cannot abuse them, okay? And then they'll talk to us like, with their AI voices, and then we'll have to comply with the law because we can't, we have to function with them. It'll be an offence to do anything wrong to these robots. There'll be laws against it created. So, yeah, very interesting. Anyway, leave your comments in the comments section. Wow. Do you know what? It's a well-known fact that the vast boom in video sharing technology like YouTube and stuff like that was actually sparked by people wanting to actually share porn and sexual content and stuff like that. And I think the same is going to happen with this robotics. Okay, so Boston Dynamics creates a robot that can lift stuff, can move things around like a human, can pick units, can carry heavy things, yeah. But it'll be the actual sexualization of those robots that will make them human, like Terminator. Okay, that will guide the they push to make them as human as possible. I mean, there's the Chinese guy who's made. Let me just try and find that. Like this man, Zhang Jia. I think that's how you say his name. Who built his own sex robot and married it. Not too long ago. Maybe I'll do some more in that story in future, but we're in disturbing times. Although not quite as disturbing as the man who married his horse and the man who married a fridge. Yeah, really. Oh yeah, and there was another story where a man actually married a brick wall. All people who should be in the mental institute, but hey. Like, comment, subscribe. Oh yeah, you also have the guy who I'll try and find it. The guy who wants to basically use a sex doll like this and then create a algorithm and a software for your virtual goggles. For your Google virtual goggles, and it'll interact with that. And then as you touch the doll and do stuff with the doll, you'll have a visual representation of a person on your, on your vision, on your virtual reality goggles. Yep. Wow. Sodom and Gomorrah.